195 pleasant highway kilometres from busy Auckland, Mercury Bay sits on the Coromandel coast like a jewelled pendant on a necklace of white sandy beaches. Whitianga is approached by 3 roads from the south. One of these, Highway 309, runs between 2 rivers across the lowest point of the Coromandel Range. All the main highways into Whitianga and the adventure roads heading north follow fast-flowing rivers and streams. These riverbeds are world famous for the semi-precious gemstones found in their shallow waters. Approaching Mercury Bay, we pass through magnificent forest-clad ranges. stands of stately kauri trees, the world's only square tree, waterfalls, rivers, and views of scenic grandeur are all likely to cause the avid photographer to use up film at a rapid pace. The well-stocked photography shop in Whitianga not only develops and prints today's photographs, but can also supply the films, cameras, and expertise for tomorrow's. The first timber mill in the Mercury Bay area was set up in 1935, but kauri trunks had been collected from the Coromandel forests since Captain Cook reported on their suitability for masts and spars. Over a period of 60 years, about 500 million feet of kauri timber were milled and sold. During 40 of those years, offcuts burned day and night as a beacon for shipping on Buffalo Beach in Whitianga. Timber from Mercury Bay was New Zealand's first private export. After the timber was removed, kauri gum was the main source of income. Gum diggers took out over 100,000 tons of gum over 50 years. Cora Glen, once called Gumtown, was at the centre of this thriving industry. Not much remains today. A busy sale yard still operates for the farmers, and the Cora Glen pub is a popular gathering place for people of the district. and cattle have taken the place of the tall trees, and more recently, diversification into subtropical horticulture has been seen. Arriving from the south, the first of 43 fine beaches in the Mercury Bay area is Hotwater Beach. Plan to arrive within an hour either side of low tide. Bring a bottle of wine and dig your own pool to relax in. When an easterly wind blows, this is a great surfing beach. The next beach we visit is Hahe. All these small beaches have beach stores, camping facilities and accommodation. A real attraction at Hahe is a walk through the scenic reserve to Cathedral Cove. Allow 1.5 hours for the walk, but take a picnic basket and spend the day. The crystal clear water and sculptured rocks are breathtaking. pass the Purangi River and call at Cook's Beach and Shakespeare Point. Captain James Cook, an English explorer, landed at Cook's Beach from the ship Endeavour in November 1769, specifically to watch the passage of the planet Mercury across the Sun. Thus, he established an accurate longitude for the area. On the 15th of November, he planted the English flag on the beach and claimed New Zealand for George III. Cook named the area Mercury Bay. It was previously called Te Whanganui o Hay, the Great Bay of Hay. Flaxmill Beach and Front Beach, adjacent to Shakespeare Cliff, lead us to the Whitianga River and the ferry waiting to take us across to Whitianga Township. The stone steps forming the landing on the south side of the river were built in 1837. They were the first stone wharf in Australasia. Alongside Whitianga Rock is one of the oldest power sites in New Zealand, a natural fortress admired by Captain Cook. Kupe, the Polynesian chief and explorer, landed here at Whitianga a Kupe, the crossing place of Kupe, in about 950 AD. The Te Toi migration of 1150 AD established Wharetaiwa Pa north of Whitianga. In 1880, 34 generations later, the pa was wiped out by marauding Maoris from the north. Chief Hay brought his family on the Arawa canoe in 1350, and his direct descendants still live in this area. There is evidence that over 1,000 years ago, and long before these migrations, moa hunters were already established in the area. The passenger ferry takes 5 minutes to cross the river, but to drive to Whitianga from this point means a journey around the estuary of 42 kilometres. A pleasant narrated boat trip up the river, or a trip across on the quaint ferry, gives you the opportunity to see the resident dolphins that come to welcome you to their domain. Whitianga today, nestling around Mercury Bay and supporting a population of 3,000, is a growing town. The population grows to 35,000 in the summer season from December to April, but the tourist attractions are busy the year round. The town is served by many motels, caravan and camping grounds, restaurants, services and excellent shopping. All international service organisations are represented. A visitor's information centre will help you decide which of the many options you wish to choose. Activities can range from sunbathing or sports to the more strenuous backpacking in the rugged bush-covered mountains, horseback riding or the thrills of whitewater rafting. The most popular attractions are found around the sea and wharf area, where you can arrange any sort of fishing or boating activity you wish. For a yacht club with no clubhouse, the Mercury Bay Yacht Club is one of the most famous in the world at the present time. The lack of a clubhouse does not keep Whitianga from being a boatie's haven. game fishing is not new to Mercury Bay, and the remains of Zane Gray's camp, dating back to the 1920s, bear testimony to his love of fishing in the bay. The Mercury Bay Big Game Fishing Club of 800 members boasts several world records. The wharf serves a busy fishing port, where today the main industries are crayfishing and scallop fishing. The crayman's day starts at dawn, and he's usually home by lunchtime. His work area, which is rugged and beautiful, includes 27 offshore islands with lovely names such as Maori Woman, Hole in the Wall, Koropuki, and Red Mercury. And the strange rocks of Ohina are thought to be the inside wall of a volcanic crater. Heading out of town to the north is Kuatunu. There was a gold rush here in 1889, which lasted about 10 years. Gold was still mined here in 1960. Total gold mined was worth $32.3 million. Further north, we find the lovely beaches of Rings, Matarangi, and Whangapoua. The peninsula to the east forms the northern shores of Mercury Bay, with the glorious beaches of Opito and Otama on its northeastern tip. If you have never been to Whitianga, then why don't you come and see and enjoy the activities the area has to offer? If you have been before, then you already know the welcome you'll receive the next time you come. We'll see you there.